Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about earnest money. Why? Because I get asked on a regular basis what it is, how it's used, and will it be liable? That third question, will it be liable, I would say is the biggest question, because obviously with the cost of living in Santa Cruz and the cost of home prices in Santa Cruz, when you're putting 3% earnest money into escrow, you don't want to lose it because that can be tens of thousands of dollars. So let's do a deep dive. Let's talk about earnest money. Let's talk about how it is applied when you're purchasing a home right here in Santa Cruz. And let's talk about when and if it is liable. I'm Shemeika Fox, your Santa Cruz Real Estate expert, and I'm so excited to do this deep dive with you with regards to earnest money. It is a question that I get asked on a regular basis. So let's take a look at it. What is earnest money? Earnest money is the money that is deposited into escrow once your offer on your property has been accepted. Now, the thing about earnest money is that it can vary from $1 up to, generally speaking, 3% of the purchase price. Customarily, in this current market right here in Santa Cruz, what we're experiencing is that most buyers put their full 3% in escrow upon the acceptance of their offer. Now, when I first got my real estate license 20 years ago, we were seeing anywhere between about $5,000 to $10,000 used as their initial or earnest money deposit go into escrow. And then with the removal of all contingencies, the full 3% would be deposited into escrow at that point. The way that earnest money works is it is basically a put your money where your mouth is mentality. So you're showing the sellers that, yes, I'm serious about the consideration of purchasing your home, and I am willing to put into escrow this 3% or whatever you guys negotiate with regards to the initial deposit into escrow to hold or reserve that right, because the seller is taking their home off the market, marking it contingent or pending while you do your due diligence if you have contingencies, and while you further explore whether or not this is going to be the right purchase for you. So is your earnest money refundable or is it liable? While you have contingencies in place, and there is, generally speaking, boilerplate contingencies would be loan contingency, appraisal contingency, physical contingencies, and then if you have to sell your home, the sale of your home contingency. So while you have your contingencies in place, your deposit is not liable. So let's say, for instance, you finish your home inspections, you find out that there's the need for a new roof to be installed. The new roof is going to cost about $25,000. You request that either the seller replace the roof prior to the close of escrow or credit you that $25,000 or somewhere in between $0 and $25,000, and the sellers decline your request. They are not required to accept your negotiations after the initial offer has been accepted. But let's say that they decline your request, and as a result of this request, you decide that you want to cancel escrow. You would be able to receive your initial deposit back from the title company in full. Now, if you were to remove all of your contingencies, your home inspection contingencies, your appraisal contingency, your loan contingency, and your home is in escrow, and so you remove the sale of your home contingency as well, and then all of a sudden you change your mind, or your home falls out of escrow, or you don't get the loan that you were applying for, and then you decide that you want to cancel escrow, at that point, your deposit could potentially be liable. Now, I say could potentially because it is always going to be a fight to keep somebody's money. But technically speaking, if you've removed all of your contingencies and then you change your mind for any reason, then at that point, your deposit could be liable. Now, there is one exception. If you were to receive new material facts with regards to the condition of the home after you've removed your contingencies, then you would have what's called a 3-day right of rescission. And during those 3 days, you could either say, I'm canceling escrow and you'll receive your money back, or you could say that you want to renegotiate based on the new information. So again, for example, let's say that the roof needs to be replaced. You've removed all of your contingencies, and all of a sudden a new leak from the roof comes prevalent, and now there is damage done to the property. You would have the right to rescind your offer based on this new material evidence. months and you would get your initial deposit back. Now, a lot of people also ask me, is this initial deposit on top of your down payment and closing costs? It is not. It is a placeholder for you to continue through the escrow process. And once we get to that closing point or the closing table, you will see all of your expenses itemized. So there's your down payment, there's your closing cost, title, and escrow fees, there's your loan origination fees, things like that. And let's say you put $20,000 to be held in escrow as your initial deposit. That $20,000 initial deposit would be applied to your total closing cost. So you would have to come in minus the $20,000 that you put in for your initial deposit. I think that pretty much covers the overall concept of earnest money deposits and whether or not they are liable or refundable, and how exactly an earnest money deposit works. If you have any questions about earnest money deposits and or real estate or Santa Cruz, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm Shemeika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert, and as always, I'm here to help.